Morning, everybody. We're on 77 heading north in North Carolina right now. Just had a good night's sleep. I wish I would have created one of these vans a long time ago. I've owned this van since 2017, 2018, somewhere in there. I bought it brand new. This bed back here and just figuring out how to make all this stuff happen. I sleep so well. I haven't slept so well in a very long time. It's just nice to know that when you get tired, you can just pull right over. You don't have to deal with a hotel. You just put some healthy food in you. I went to Longhorn last night right before they closed. Got some sweet potato and asparagus and a bowl of soup and called it a night. And it was like a Longhorn parking lot / a couple other businesses, and just pulled my van off in the corner and went to sleep. And it was around 10 o'clock. It's now 6 a.m., 6:30. So we had a couple close calls. You gotta forgive me, my hair is probably crazy. Okay. We had a couple close calls 2 nights ago. We really almost hit a deer. I was on this road where there's always deer. Coming south out of Augusta, there's this road called Atomic Road. It goes by this nuclear power plant area, and there's deer every mile. Every quarter mile there's deer, but I mean every mile you see deer. And this one sure as shit jumped. I swerved to the left and went into the oncoming traffic lane because it's only 2 lanes, 1 lane each direction. Juked it to the left, jerked back to the right. Van squealed both ways, barely kept it on the road. I'd already made the decision before that happened that if something like that was going to happen, that I wasn't going to hit the deer. I was going to dodge the deer and destroy the transmission, right? It's the lesser of all evils. So, did that. Thought for sure that transmission was going to be off the blocks. It was still on the blocks. Couldn't believe it. Could not fucking believe it. So really pleased with that whole situation. I've only had to make a couple adjustments on the blocks. You know, they kind of vibrate their way off the transmission. So then yesterday, after the deer incident, yesterday during the day, because that was the night before, took some really rough back roads through South Carolina instead of taking the highway. And it was just pure vibration on these back roads, because it was little kind of potholes that have been fixed, like old country roads. And again, that kind of moved the transmission more off the blocks, they were vibrating their way off, than the deer incident did. But that's because it was sustained hours and hours of driving. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to order a what's it called? A crawler with big wheels, and use that as a doll, a thing to roll that transmission around on. And then I'm going to build a custom stand out of wood that holds that transmission up, and call it a day, and attach the wood to the, you'll see. So get this van finished up. It was pretty chilly last night. I'll look it up here in a minute what it was, but it was pretty cold where I stayed. I was just north of Charlotte. And I had the windows cracked open. I cracked these windows. What I'm probably going to do is, for air conditioning during the summertime, I'm probably going to build a piece that sits in here that I can roll the window up against, and that'll actually be where the AC sticks out, because I really don't want to cut holes in this van, because I'm going to get another one of these vans eventually. I'm going to probably get one of the 350s with the dually rear wheels is what I'm thinking I'm going to do, because I want to be able to pull a Corvette, and I really haven't looked into how well this one's going to do. I really got to talk to people who own this van. This is a 250 Transit 2017 with the twin turbo V6, the EcoBoost. It's a great engine, but I really it's the transmission I'm worried about. So and the diff. But as far as maybe I end up getting one of the dually vans, same van, it's just a 350. But anyway, I don't want to cut holes in this van. So what I'm going to do is, for the AC, because I only want the AC in the back when I stop. So therefore I can roll this window down, put a thing in here, slide it up in here, and then roll the window back up against it. Now I've got the unit that sticks out and also goes back. And so there's this little tiny AC unit that the guy on Clark's Adventure recommends from his buddy in Tampa or whatever, Clearwater, Florida. And the reason why he recommends it is because it runs steady and it's not too cold, because regular AC units, you get too cold and then it shuts off, it turns on, shuts off, turns on. And every time it turns on, shuts off, it like wakes you up, because your body, your natural defenses when things change is so having a steady state of AC. Well, then now that I figured out this thing about the sheets, where you can run the air duct into the actual sheet of the bed, I don't need it to be that big of a unit at all, you see? So I'm really pleased that I took a nap, forced myself to like stay in this thing when it was like 11 degrees outside when it was up in Ohio, and really figure out like, what am I gonna fucking do? Because, what am I gonna do? And so, because figuring out how to stay warm in this thing caused me to figure out how I can also stay cool. You see, it's the same principle. Also, you can build like a little tent. You could be real simple. You could drape a sheet down from the side, and the side of the bed, and then you just run the AC into that tent. Okay? So, and that's all that you have to AC now, you see? So there's different ways to do it, but the point is you have the AC unit right here, mounted against this wall, and then you have this thing like a slinky that's attached to this other thing, and then that other thing might even be able to go up here on the shelf when you're driving. Okay, and you roll the window back up and you get that thing out of the window. So, and I mean, technically, even if your view is obscured right here, that's fine. You can leave it in there permanently, maybe. I don't know. So I'm just throwing out all the different possibilities. I'm probably not going to leave it in there permanently. I'll probably throw it up there each time, but you never know. It might be so convenient just to leave it there and not mess with it, because that window's a really tall window. I can still see fine if it's, to there. So anyway, really just content and pleased with the way that things are going right now with everything. I know there's a lot of people who want to see what I'm up to. I'm usually super transparent about what I'm up to, but there's going to be a lot of jealous shops. What I'm about to do is going to be a game changer. And there's different components of the thing that I've realized we can file patents on that are like, I've had to sit here and solve problems. I don't even want to begin to explain what they are, because that tips everybody off that it will be a problem. What I'll tell you is this: if some other shop decides, we're going to do the same thing, they're likely going to blow up the DCT. If they try to create the cooling kit for the DCT like what I'm about to create, there's two different reasons why they're going to blow up the DCT. They have to be solved. And I'm not going to get into what it is, because I've done all the homework. Everybody else can go pound sand right now. I've tried to help other shops figure this shit out. And so this is going to be a business for sure. And like I said, once people see the solution, there's pretty good odds that General Motors is going to be court ordered to implement the solution on all the cars. I'm not saying it's absolutely going to happen, but there's pretty good odds once a judge and jury see that this can be retrofitted onto every single transmission for X amount of dollars and it saves the day, General Motors is going to be in a spot. So once we can show that we have no fail rate on our transmissions other than electronic glitches, General Motors is going to be in a spot. So that was General Motors' whole defense, I think, was to say, Your Honor, there's no way to solve this problem. It's as good as it gets with our current system. Once we can show the reliability skyrockets on our cars, and because I know why the DCTs fail, and I know how to solve it. Okay, I've known the whole time, basically, since the beginning. So I used to be more transparent about what the solutions were, but no more. You know, we just got to get this created, and it's going to take some time because we're going to have to create some really custom, amazing pieces. That's why I was like, fuck it, I'll just buy the transmission, because if we're going to do this, we got to do it right. So anyway, that's all I got. We're about to be going up that big hill here in a little bit. Up 77. Okay, so let's talk ZR1. The XP64 sold last night for $7 million at the Sotheby's down in Miami. Pretty cool to watch that auction. I watched it until I got to the Corvette went through, and then I went to Longhorn, grabbed food, went to bed, so I didn't even get to see the rest of the cars. But it was pretty cool. I saw the first part of the auction with the other cars. Lots of multi-million-dollar cars. I think the Corvette was like the second highest one. One of those 4 GTs went up to like 12 million or something like that. One of the Mach 2 4 GTs. So anyway, GT40s. So, anyway, so the XP64, I'm going to guess that Corvette SS, I'm going to guess that General Motors and or Hendrick bought that back. See, General Motors wasn't allowed to own it the whole time. Somebody else had to own it. Zora snuck that vehicle out of General Motors and took it to the Indianapolis Museum because it was supposed to be crushed. So Zora snuck it out and took it to the Indianapolis Museum because it was an experimental VIN. They're supposed to crush all those. So it was all magnesium body. It was like the super fast race car at the time. They ran around the country and set lap records in it at all the different racetracks. Sound familiar to the 1064 car right now? What they're doing? So sorry, I had to spit out the window there. So anyway, I think that there's a good odds that Hendrick and or General Motors bought that car back, and that you're going to see it in the Corvette Museum soon. To me, that $7 million is a no-brainer in an advertising campaign, because they can create a big documentary around that car that they bought it back, and that's what the 1064 car is. The same principle. It was an experimental VIN car, and blah 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 blah, and that'll allow them to segue into the ZR1 and the Grand Sport and the Corvette SS, the new Corvette SS name. And so that's what's going on. And I think Harlan's going to come back, and he's going to explain it all, blah blah blah. And anyway, so we'll see. The ZR1 cars, the 1064 cars, they were spotted in Tail of the Dragon, all those roads down there. I hope they had fun. I hope they got all the way down to the road that I go to, which is south of Tail of the Dragon. And then they sat there and realized, maybe went back through some of my videos and realized, oh shit, this guy pulls 1.2 lateral G's every other turn. Racing against motorcycles up this hill. There's one road that's better than the Dragon that's south of there. But anyway, that's all I got. Bitcoin's down. I knew it was going to do one big dip down before it spikes back up. So Bitcoin's down. It's going to go down to the parabolic trend line. Be cool if it gets way, way, way down. That way we know it's time to get in, make it easy. Because if it goes way, way, way down, it'll just fly right straight back up. But the whole stock market follows Bitcoin, like I explained all along, and they can control Bitcoin because the masses aren't trading Bitcoin. BlackRock and all these big guys are the ones trading the Bitcoin. So they control it. They control the price. So it's easy price fixing. They've got the whole market rigged now. They got the whole S&P 500 rigged. Everything follows Bitcoin. Because the Magnificent 7 and the 7 after that, they all follow Bitcoin price. So, all right. That's all I got for that video. See ya.